Yo, what is up, people? Hope you're all having a nice and wonderful day, week, and just enjoying life however you choose to it. We're back again. New season is arrived, it's upon us, and it all comes with new shapes and sizes, of new bands, and yeah, the drill. We are currently going up against Parade Battle Team as our first opponent of the season. And yeah, the aim is to hopefully cook this war and yeah, make sure we have a good season. The bands are Ghost Rider, Kushala, Apoc, Serpent, and Onslaught. So, particularly some new bands, which is really interesting. And the global bands are Nico and Spiderwoman. So, these champs will be fully banned for the whole season. And we got the Ban Immune champs, which is basically the same as last season for the Tactic champs. But we have Mr. Sinister and Deathless Thanos on the whitelist. So, two extraordinarily OP champs. So it's good to have those in our midst. Our team is going to consist of, if my loading screen loads, Wealth by Night, Karolina Dean, and Cheeilth. And the path we are going to be taking is path 8. And we're also going to be taking 2 minis. So we have Joe Fixit on Rage, Medusa on Energetic Exercise, Galan on Supercharge, and Fantman on Node 35. Thank goodness it's not a North Star, so that's pretty cool. And then we got Zola on Node 37, Personal Space Region, and to wrap it off, we have Solvarch on Bubble Shield. So that is my path. Those are the minis, and this is the team we're going to be rocking with. So yeah, let's get into it. So for the season change, it is been the Kabam have done a new change where the war isn't going to be lasting for 12 seasons. Instead, it's going to be 9. Hence why the time was 18 days instead of usually over 20 or usually like 25 to 30 days. So yeah, hopefully we can just cook this war and yeah, just have a good time. So yeah, let's get into it. So first fight here, starting off against this Joe Fixit, and we are going to be using Cheeilth. Now I did take this fight last war, and not last war, last season. Around that time, I don't know which war, but it was last season, and I played it really iffy. To be fair, like it wasn't all that good, but watching some videos on how to progress and how to overcome it, I've learnt how to play more effectively. So for this fight, we are going to be running max deep wounds, since we're going to be allowing our bleeds to do the damage, and we just went off screen there, which is quite annoying. But yeah, the aim is to pretty much use mediums and try to cook using the bleeds. We are only going to be running just the health boost and the grey boost. We're going to be running Invan just in case things get a bit dicey, and we don't want to get clipped, as if we get clipped, that will be annoying. So yeah, just want to ensure that we take our time, don't rush, and yeah, just play really well. Okay, so fight starts off, and ideally we're just going to be going for mediums. Cheeilth doesn't, on our mediums, doesn't tend to crit, so I doubt that we are going to be hitting the rage cap ever so easily. And ideally we're not going to use our striker too, because if we use the striker, that's going to give us a cruelty. And that cruelty is probably going to, like there, for example. I use the striker, but we're probably not going to hit him. We're probably going to wait it out because we don't want to trigger rage. And we know for Cheeilth, she can hit pretty hard. And that can trigger rage. So, yeah, we're just triggering mediums. Not too bad. We're going to try a bit an SP2 off, which we do nicely. He does get lucky 7s. So we're just going to do a medium light and, yeah, melt him. So, yeah, that wasn't too bad of a fight. Like, there was no risk there. Like, we didn't have to throw a special and that could trigger Rise to Power because if he throws an SB1 after we knocked him down, the bullets that we block will just trigger Rise to Power and he can just shoot straight to SB3 and that'll be bad. We do not want that. So, yeah, slow and steady, mediums. And, yeah, Fixit is a Gamma champ, so we were getting some nice additional bleeds there thanks to deep wounds. So, there was definitely no risk there whatsoever. Now, on to our next fight. We have Medusa on energetic exercise. So, again, this fight, I have seen some casualties on this fight before. And, yeah, it can happen. Medusa is a bitch. Her AI can be a bit stingy. At high sig as well, her living strands, the auto block can kick in really, really badly. So, yeah, we just have to keep that in mind. But the ideal thing here is to mainly go for heavy spam. So we're getting our bleeds up, which is pretty cool. But once she gets into living strands, like here, for example, that's where we have to start the heavy spam. And Medusa can't auto block heavies, so it's not too bad, I guess. We are taking a lot of chip damage. We do get hit there, but we have our Invon to save us there, so it's not too bad. We're going for the relic into heavy. So yeah, not too bad. And we're just trying to bait our heavy, but she's being a bit stingy, so we're just going to go for SB3. Which is pretty nice because now we get the regen. And yeah, we're just baiting the SB2. And there's a heavy, which we bait out nicely. Unfortunately, I can't go for SB1s since she has 3 Furies, so she will be able to auto block that attack, but it's okay. We do have the Vicious, which is nice, and also we can go in for like a medium, like you just saw right there, every time she finishes a special, so we can just get some breathing space, but it's all good. We have 15 bleeds and they just absolutely melted us, so yeah, not too bad of a fight. I think there was an ability where Cheeilth can cap block damage, but I didn't really see much of it going on there because Medusa hits like a tank. I think that guy was probably running the Pierce stat focus. That's why we were just taking a bunch of block damage, but it's all good. Moving on to the next fight, we now have Galan on Supercharge. And we're going to be taking this with Wolf. Now, I did this fight last war as well. And how I played it was we mainly had to utilize lycanthropy just in case he got too much harvest, because the intensifiers will give him some harvest, and yeah, it can be a bit iffy if you don't get that harvest under control, as the buffs he can get from that after he throws special one will do quite a lot of damage. Although we did, from that last fight, we did take harvest damage using Wolf that time, but it wasn't a lot to kill us since number one, we had class advantage, and number two, Wolf was pretty much kind of like a tank, especially with that region. So I guess there's not a lot of risk there. So right now we're just trying to currently change our boost. So yep, probably gonna run that 12%, and if we can find the Mystic boost, which is perfect. And for the grey boost, I guess we're gonna run advanced power start 1, because how we want to play it is we want to start off with having the bar of power, so then we can have a better chance of getting into lycanthropy faster, which is nice. And yeah, just alternate our combos. So starting off, we're trying to get the howl, but we didn't go for it there. So we do go for it there, which is nice. So he goes for medium, light, just trying to build ruptures, which isn't too bad. He will get the intensify. Like there, for example, he just got some planetary mass. We do get slammed in the face, which is not ideal. We are going for SP2 to knock him down, and that removes all his planetary mass. He does get 80 again, which I guess isn't too bad. And now we're going for an SP1. And that reduces his planetary mass. I mean, he is going to throw... And that is really bad. That is really bad. And yeah, we just die. Ah, pain. That was very, very bad. Ideally, I was not supposed to bait the SP2. I should have bait the SP1, and I probably would have survived. Or I could have pushed him red. But in fact, we did the opposite of what we were supposed to do, and we just pushed him to SP2, and the incinerates just melted us. That is absolutely painful. So we are gonna go for the cleanup, but it is absolutely painful. That is my first death of the season, and it is pretty gutting because I usually don't die on these type of fights, but that is so triggering. That is so triggering. But what more can you do? So same strategy basically. Just try and get for the SP2 with the get into lycanthropy and pretty much just melt him. I think although yeah, that should pretty much nuke him. But yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. In that situation, I probably should have pushed him red, and I don't know if it probably would have killed me also, but yeah, that is very frustrating. But we just gotta take it to the chin and pretty much move. Next fight we have is Fantman on node 35, and we're using Karolina Dean. So for this match, ideally we don't wanna throw specials while he's stunned. That also get the damage reflect or back towards us, and we want to also keep his power in check because that could also pretty much frustrate us if we don't keep his power in check. So ideally we want to just ensure we only bait SP1s. If needed to, we can push him to SP2, and yeah, just try to get those nano armors in check. Don't let them stack up too much. And yeah, I don't know why I just did that. That was quite stupid. So we are just trying to utilize by staying in the sun. So fire for first SP1. Of course, it's not going to do a lot of damage because the protection was up. And now we can bait this SP2 off, which is nice. And now we're going to try and knock the protection off. Bait off the SP2, which is nice. Race into the sun and throw it while we're in the sun, which is nice. I've seen the protection is about to go back up, and I did that again. No, that's just, I don't know why I did that. That was so dumb. Same thing happened twice. So good though. Now we're going to try bait this SP2 if he throws it. Very nice. And Gonna try bait an SB1 if we can. If he throws it. And yeah. E disintegration so we get some nice willpower healing. And yeah, we're just trying to stay in the sun. Trying to utilize that power gain. And I don't know why my combo delayed there, but I guess it's all good. And now we just race back in the sun. And yeah, throw it while in the sun. Now the aim, we can just hold block. And yeah, just nuke him. Played it a bit iffy to be fair, but it went well, I guess. Like, there was no too bad punishment there. And yeah, we got out the fight alive, so I guess that's not too bad. On to the next fight. On Zola. On personal space region. And yeah, just like the Fantman fight, get in the sun, pretty much nuke him. You don't have to worry about the region because Karolina is such a nuke, and yeah, this champ is not healthy. But she nukes the fight anyway, so it's all good. And if we want, we can just get some nice openings with the root, so we can utilize that. So we did throw the S. Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. Yeah, that right there was so stupid. It's all good though. He's gonna get rooted. We're just trying to find the sun. And the sun is right over here. So we throw SB2 into that. Yeah, this time I'm not gonna make the same mistake and push him into SB2 and get clipped by that shit again. Because that's just dumb. Yeah, not a bad fight, I guess. I think I've just played sloppy this war, but we move, I guess, so it's not all that bad. Now to wrap it up, our last fight is Solvarch on for bubble shield, no 41. Yeah, Solvarch on bubble shield. Thinking this with Karolina. Just like the previous two fights, yeah, just get into the sun and yeah, pew pew pew. Because Karolina is a balanced champion and yeah, she doesn't give flying flip about anything. I think here we can go for advanced power boost since we just want to try and get the early power gain from the get-go. We have done some practice here and yeah, alternate Solvarch form from absorb mode to release mode. That way we won't have to be punished. But we just threw it anyway, but it still does decent damage, I guess. So, and yeah, he throws a special one. There's the next special one. And yeah, we can also glance the hits and that prevents bubble shield. It's not too bad, I guess. Now, is he going to throw SB2 or is he going to throw SB1? He threw SB1 and I get clipped from that. And that actually kills me. And I'm like, what? Okay, it's clear to me I am playing really bad. I am playing absolutely bad. Like, am I having a brain malfunction or what? Because that is just horrid. That is just horrid. 2 deaths in 1 war is diabolical. That is diabolical. We are gonna go for another cleanup, but that is crazy how I just died there. Like, this is unbelievable. I don't know what I'm saying. Even my words are jumbled. Yeah, so he's in absorb mode right now. The incinerates aren't doing too much damage, so we have to get him to... That was release mode, I mean. So now he's in absorb mode. And now he's going to go to release mode. I was sure that the special there would glance, but that's kind of dumb. Yeah, that nukes him. But that is dumb. That is so dumb. How that killed me. How that killed me in one combo. I was thinking to myself, am I going to survive at the end? But surprisingly, I didn't. And now I'm not going to pre the results because that would be really annoying. But yeah, this was a horrid war start from me. Yeah, I say that to the chest. That was a horrid war for me. Like, this was really bad. And yeah, I'm gonna look back on this and think to myself, like, this is ludicrous. But yeah, that's the first war. That's the end of my fights. Hopefully we can just brush off the rust and yeah, continue to cook. But yeah, if you liked and enjoyed, smash a like and sub, and yeah, comment on what you think. Well, I bet you already know what you're gonna think, but yeah, hope you have a good day, and yeah, GG's.